Hey guys, it's Whiffy here at Blue Unicorn Gaming. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about Crucible. This is not a review. I want to wait until the game is fully released in its final state before giving a review. This is purely an overview and my current take on the game as it stands at initial launch, which was this past Thursday, May 21st, 2020. This is going to be a hard one. I've made this video 3 times now. This game is going to be a tough one. Let's get into it. So Crucible is the first large release game from Amazon. This game is a MOBA Battle Royale hybrid. It is PvEVP, player versus environment versus player. The premise of the game is that you level up your character, kill the others, and depending on the game mode that you're in, you either capture a heart or you're the last man standing. You pick one of the characters in the game, and that is who you play in your map. These characters will level up through PvP kills, through objective captures, and through PvE kills. It's a team level similar to that of HOTS, Heroes of the Storm, from Blizzard, where the entire team will gain XP whenever XP is earned. The game supports both a keyboard and mouse as well as gamepad layout. I have no experience with the gamepad at this point. I haven't used one. I do plan to use one for my final review of the game when the game is fully released. But I am left-handed. It makes it a little bit difficult sometimes playing a shooter. At least for me, I've never found a keyboard and mouse to be really set up the way that I would like it to when playing a shooter style game, either first or third person. However, I do enjoy playing games like Apex and Halo. With that being said, Crucible adds a very new dynamic to the keyboard combo that I've never had the fortune of enjoying. The keys are very easy to reach. You use WASD keys initially for your movement, followed by using the Q and E buttons for your abilities, and the left shift as well. This makes it very easy for me as a left-hander to quickly hit the buttons I need to hit. R is your reload as normal, and F is capturing a point. The buttons are in a great position. I absolutely love that about the game, and I feel the developers did a great job as far as a keyboard goes for assisting for players that are both left or right-handed to make it very easy to get into. The game also includes a third level of key binding. So you can set this up with the defaults, with the controller, and then with a subset as well, if you would like to use that instead. As a left-hander, I may want to use the arrow keys at times, and that's very easily doable without completely removing the defaults. The game features 2 different map modes. There's a single map at this point in time. I'm assuming later on there's going to be more, but a single map mode exists now. You have a 4v4 map, where your objective is to capture points, and when the Heart of the Wild spawns, to destroy it and capture the heart. First team to 3 hearts wins the match. I like this map mode. This is the easiest map mode to get into. It's the initial one they show you after your tutorial is done. This map mode is also the quickest to get into a match with, and pretty much the easiest to learn the game with. The second map mode, you team up with one other player, and you battle against multiple other teams of 2. In this map mode, it's essentially a battle royale. Get to the end and be the last one standing, or last team standing. This game mode does have a really cool feature that I haven't experienced in any other games at this point in time. This feature is that if I were to be alone on my team, my partner dies, and I come across another player who's alone, I can hit the number 1 key and invite him to join my team. And now we have made a completely new team within the game. Personally, I think that is an extremely strong feature that bodes very well for competitive play in the future, especially in the pro circuit. I do have some likes and dislikes about this game as it currently stands. I'm assuming a lot of these dislikes may be addressed in the future by the time the 1.0 release comes out. Now, let's dive into the pros and cons. We'll start here with the pros. The first pros, I like the concept. On a personal level, I like the integration of MOBA and Battle Royale. You have your killing creeps in order to gain levels, as well as attempting to be the last person alive, depending on your game mode. With this, every time a new heart spawns in the 4v4 map, the ring gets smaller. I know this very well. I've died a lot. Not expecting it, not realizing when it's closing, and yeah, I'm dead. Unfortunately. The death happens very quickly through there, in comparison to other games like Apex, Fortnite, PUBG, and other Battle Royale style games that may not be as popular. The world itself is fun, very well constructed. You have different objective points throughout the game world, such as harvester captures, amplifiers, as well as creeps that randomly spawn that you need to kill to gain XP. As you gain levels, you gain additional skills on each character, which makes the world a lot more interesting. At levels 1, 3, and 5, you gain a set of skills that prior to joining the game, you can configure between 3 different options, which can drastically change your character or minorly depending on how you set it up. This adds a nice dynamic as not all characters are then static and adds a little bit of player agency to the game as well. It also makes your character very strong post level 5, which is the highest level you can get for an added bonus to your abilities. You do gain additional health as well as damage as you go up, including critical hit. Depending on your character, your critical hit may or may not be higher. Some characters, of course, have a higher crit percentage than others based on their role. For an early access game, the game feels fairly polished. There's a few minor bugs, such as when you come out of your respawn tube, your character glitches a little bit, which I find a little odd because this is a pre-scripted animation. You shouldn't be lagging the way that it does, but it's a minor bug that doesn't affect gameplay. I personally have not found many bugs with this game that affect gameplay in a drastic manner. There are some here and there, but in the past 3 days of the game being released, there has been a patch once and sometimes twice a day in order to address a lot of bugs, especially some major ones that some players have found which would cause the game to crash. This helps me personally feel very comfortable about the developers and their care for the game. There's a good selection of characters to play as well. Each character is very unique, and no one character feels cookie cutter to the other. All these characters are free for you immediately when you open the game up. The only things that you would pay for are things like cosmetic skins for your characters, some dialogue options, some emotes, but nothing to unlock character, which I love. Now, I do play Apex Legends, and one gripe I have in that game is that in order to unlock additional characters, I have to pay real world money. I don't like to have to pay for a character. I feel like characters should be free in all games, and you pay for the cosmetic side of it. Or give me a way to unlock it within the game, on top of a cash option. In Crucible, that's not the case. You get the characters, and if you want to spend money, that's on you. That's all up to you. Nobody will force you. The game currently does have a preseason battle pass as well. This battle pass costs 950 credits, which you can earn in-game or purchase for real-world money. However, starting the game out, you get 1,000 in-game credits right off the bat. That allows you to very quickly and effectively purchase that with 50 credits remaining. My final pro for this game, it's free. You just download it, log in, tie your Steam account to it, and you're in. It makes it very nice to get down and play it and give it a try without any obligation to the game. Personally, I love that feature about this game, as well as other battle royales and MOBAs out there, because I like to be able to play the game and know that I didn't just waste a potential $60 if I don't enjoy it afterwards. And I don't know about many people out there, but myself, I like to put about 10 hours into a game before I decide if I want to return it. Typically with games such as Crucible, I know early on that I like this game. So for me, if I would have paid $60 for this game, I wouldn't feel slighted in the least. I'd feel very happy with my purchase. However, being free, that makes it even better. Now let's go into the cons that I have for the game. There's a few large ones. Not sure why they're built the way they are. One of the cons to the game that I've since not really considered so much of a con is the currency option, as I just talked about. Now, at first, I didn't believe there was any type of currency that you could get for playing the game. Now, this has been proven false by myself, I guess. As I leveled up, I noticed I was gaining credits, which are the same credits that you can purchase. I was getting them about 50 a time at my current level. As I hit certain objectives, level up my battle pass, things like that, which are giving me these credits. Now, I do like that option, and even though this is still on the cons list, I would rather have a separate currency and have similar to League of Legends where you have ride points and shards. Now, this system does work for me in my opinion. I just like having them separate. I don't like mixing the 2 points up. The next con I have is more of a discrepancy between the types of ammo used. So, depending on your character, you may have an actual ammo indicator showing that I have, say, 10 shots left in my gun before I need to reload it. Personally, I find that to be my favorite. It's a shooter. I like to be able to know when I need to reload. Other characters just have a bar that goes down over time. In particular, one character, Cezanne, which I may be butchering the name of, she has a assault rifle and a shotgun. You cannot reload these without switching weapons, which is a cool concept, to be honest with you. However, the problem is that there's a cooldown between each switch. So when you have the assault rifle out and you switch to the shotgun when you're out of ammo, you now have a cooldown of around 6 seconds. The shotgun has 3 shots on it. So if you run out of shots, all you have to do is work with your knife until that timer's up and you can switch back to your assault rifle and then hope that by the time you're out of shots on your assault rifle, that your shotgun's back up. Now, this is something I feel is going to be fixed, and by fixed I mean changed over time. I feel that a 1 or 2 second cooldown reduction would be beneficial to this character. That being said, I would much prefer to see an ammo indicator across the board on all characters rather than a bar separating each. Now, some characters that would require a little bit of rework due to them using their ammo as an ability. I think that this could be done with just a small visual tweak, but this is just a personal con that I'm just not a fan of. A lot of people may be fans of this feature and may be okay with it. I have 2 more cons for this, and these are a lot heavier in my opinion. These are cons that I feel kind of hurt the game a lot. The first of which is a lack of minimap. So the map is fairly large. It's nowhere near as large as Apex is, but it's a fairly large map overall, with a lot of obstacles all over the map. Now, having a minimap to at least get an idea of your location, maybe on the minimap show what direction the objectives are, that would be a good option. As it stands, you can only currently open your map to find out where you're at. And because of that, you can't do a whole lot of actions. Now, there is a compass on the top of the screen, and this compass is fairly good. It could actually be updated in lieu of having a minimap. Things like markers for objectives and teammates on it would be a massive bonus to this. Now, that's my take on the minimap. I'm really hoping that minimap gets added, or some additional features to the compass get added in lieu of having a minimap, just to make the game feel more accessible early on. Until you get used to the map, it's very difficult to really maneuver for a new player. The final con that I have with this game is there's no in-game communication via text or microphone. Now, this will ultimately help any type of toxicity in the game, which is always a good thing. I'm a Dota 2 player, and there's a lot of toxicity in that game, all due to voice comms. I think this feature not being in here will fix that problem heavily. However, in the hunter mode, where you team up with one other person, it makes it extremely difficult to communicate. Now, yes, there are waypoints that can be done by clicking the middle mouse button in, which is very helpful. However, the ability to communicate and work with my teammate is more helpful. Now, I'm sure if there's not already, a Discord community is going to pop up around this where you can make pre-made teams and use Discord's voice chat to get around this. That'll be great. But I feel that in 2020, we should be having some type of voice feature for teammates. Now this is my overview of the game so far. This is how I feel about the game right now. This is absolutely not a review, as I said at the beginning of the movie. I like this game, and I'm glad that it's free. I'm glad that it's out, and I'm glad that it's taken a little bit different of a take on the Battle Royale and MOBA markets. I have high hopes for this game. Just looking at how it's currently designed, and the base part of the game itself, I feel like there's a lot that can be built upon by the developers. I feel like this game may have a very good future. It's certainly not as niche of a market as some other games, and I feel like it could very easily fall into a good competitive system. As long as the developers continue supporting the game in a very strong manner and listen to the community feedback, I think this game could do what Battle Royale was unable to do and really take off. Now, I like this game. I'm going to keep playing this game, and I'm going to be reporting a lot of bugs to developers, as well as trying to get my voice out the best I can to them in order to provide constructive feedback on what I see are issues with the game, and hopefully other players are seeing these issues as well. This game is actually going to be added into my streaming rotation. I stream every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Crucible, as well as Final Fantasy XIV, Dota 2, and Apex Legends will be the games I'm going to be streaming from this point on, and the game I'm currently streaming will be in my Twitter when I go live, so feel free to check that out at iWifia. I hope you guys really enjoyed this discussion about the game. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, what you guys see as pros and cons. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section. Tell me what you think about the game. What are your pros? What are your cons? What do you think they can improve upon, and where do you think the game's going to go? Feel free to hit that like button, and please hit that subscribe button as well. There'll be more videos in this game as... Well, that was terrifying. Cat, keyboard. Anyway, I'll be making more videos as time goes on. I'll be streaming this game, as I said, and I really hope to see some great improvement from this game, and I can't wait to see where this game goes. She's the one that made the noise, by the way. She's so cute. But as always, be safe, have fun, keep on gaming, and I'll talk to you guys later.